All right, what's up, everybody? Rev Sauce 9. It's been a minute since I've done a wrestling video or a review for you guys. We're going to be covering Monday Night Raw for 11/18/2024. Literally, they set up a War Games match. Seth Rollins is probably going to be joining Roman Reigns' team to go against Bronson Reed and the other bloodline. All of it was predictable tonight. But before I get into talking about Monday Night Raw real quickly for you guys, I was very sick. I had bronchitis. I had the flu. I had a cold. It started out as a cold, and then it went into the flu. I thought it was allergies. Then I got sick, passed it to somebody else in this house. They passed it back to me, and I got bronchitis. So there's that. I have all the stuff for bronchitis when I do get it. I have a breathing machine, things like that. I have a albuterol inhaler. Z-Pack later, I'm back to being 100%. So as of tonight, we are back better than ever, baby. And I apologize that I should have been back sooner, but, you know, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Anyway, I've been watching a lot of wrestling when I was down. I binged watched a lot of things. I watched AEW. I've watched Collision. I've watched Rampage. I've watched Ring of Honor. I have been using my new Amazon Fire Stick TV 4K Max streaming stick. I will have a first impressions, a review for you guys coming soon here on this very channel. I got a lot of videos coming up that are not going to be sporting or wrestling related, but I'm here better than ever, baby, talking about a lot of things. Coming up, we're going to talk about Twitch's ad apocalypse, things like that. I'm just glad to be back. So streams are coming back up. Expect a lot more streaming here on YouTube and other platforms. And yeah, we're here to kick ass, chew bubblegum, be raw and uncut and unbiased. I'm not like your favorite commentator's commentator where I'll tell you Triple H and everything that he does is great. And by the way, I love how I was authenticated when I was sick. If I'm saying the word right. When I was sick, I saw the U.S. Women's Championship belt. Oh, but I'm stupid for saying that for the past 2 years that they were going to do a belt like this or an Intercontinental belt. Yeah, an Intercontinental women's belt is coming on Raw. By the way, it's going to be better than those hokey pokey women's title, tag team titles. A lot of you were like, oh, it's great. No, it's not been great. It's been garbage. A lot of us could tell you it's garbage. These mid-card belts, let me tell you what they could do. Michin could get featured more. Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, Jade. There's so much they could do now with a mid-card division. They could bring up a Julia. They could bring up a Delta. They could bring up a Vicaria or Paxley. They could bring up Stephanie Vaquer, and it just makes it a stepping point to be on the main event scene of the women's division. It's good for people like Tiffany Stratton. It's good for people that need to be featured, but there's so much crowding in the main event scene with Becky Lynch coming back, supposedly by Raw debut on Netflix. I mean, they need a mid-card title. They need 2 mid-card titles. AEW's got a mid-card title too, and I expect AEW to do something similar with an all-international belt for the women. I expect it. I expect another belt coming from AEW for the women. Now, before people say, there's too many title belts. Really, on the main roster of AEW, they have 8. I think 10. And then if you include the Ring of Honor stuff, which I really kind of don't, then you have like 16. And WWE has like 16. So what's the difference? Anyway, but I'm happy to see mid-card titles because it does mean that more money will go to more wrestlers for winning title belts. And the mid-card division needed an oomph. And, you know, like people like Candice LeRae, things like that. Yes, I know they have a speed title, but it's not really featured on the main roster stuff. It's only for X or Twitter or whatever for their little TV show that they got going on. So there's that. I'm happy to see mid-card titles happening. I told you guys, for 2 years I've been telling you guys this, but I was called stupid, derogatory slurs, things like that. I was also called the social inapt word for, you know, being disabled. I was called a lot of things, but guess what? Boy, I'm right. You might have just turned around and go, Rev Sauce, you were right. I'm sorry for all the fucked up shit I said. I'm just saying to those people that said it, you know, I feel good. I smiled. I had a shit-eating grin. I loved every second when Nick Aldis announced that. I said to all of you motherfuckers in my community that called me stupid and a bunch of slurs and a bunch of names, guess what? I was right. You were wrong. You should say, Rev Sauce, you were right, and I was wrong. I love it. Every minute of it. So we had a mixed tag team match with Rey Mysterio, Selena Vega defeating Chad Gable and Ivy Nile. Look, American Made are jobbers. Let's just keep it a buck here. They are literally jobbers at this point. It's gross and disgusting. Chad Gable, you signed all this money, man, and you're still a jobber. Glorified jobber. Maybe it'll get better. I'm hoping it get better. But you lost to Rey Mysterio and Selena Vega. They should have just lost. The LWO should have just lost. Rey Mysterio's been going nowhere. Selena Vega's gone nowhere. These are two tag teams or mixed tag teams that have gone nowhere. Ivy Nile's gone nowhere. Ivy Nile, if they do release a Intercontinental belt, which I expect them to do before the beginning of Raw and have a tournament, I expect her to be somewhat in that tournament and being pushed to the moon and back. Somewhat, I hope. But this match was garbage. Then they had Finn Balor. He looks weak as a leader. He's turning around and, excuse me, I just belched. They turning around and basically Liv Morgan, because Liv Morgan kicked off the show. Basically, I can't do this. You need to run the team. We're a family. And the Judgment Day are literally, no joke, boring, stale, irrelevant. They have turned them into the new LWO. Have you not noticed, like, these groups, these factions, outside of the Final Testament and the Wyatt Sick, they really haven't done anything with these other groups. Like, it just feels like the Judgment Day has fizzled out. They wearing shirts. Like, their marketing is terrible. Absolutely disgusting. Now, I am also going to say this to a lot of you as well. The show wasn't bad. It was just mid. It was C-average. It was predictable. And now with them recording Raws now, supposedly they're going to be recording Raws. They're not going to be live every week. It's just gross. It's like, it's predictable. Like, I'm going to see recaps online now, and it's just predictable. It's not the WWE I come to love. It's this Triple H stuff is just, it's repetitive. It's becoming repetitive. And AEW ain't no better. Outside of the Jon Moxley stuff and a couple other things, their tag team division is terrible. Like, I love Private Party, but they haven't built anything up in their tag team division to defeat to them that would be memorable. The Creed brothers, who cares? I don't care about the Creed brothers. On Raw, they've made it to where 2 hours of Raw, I can watch the highlights and skip through it, or I can go on my DVR and just skip what I want to watch. Like, I don't need to watch it live as it's happening. It's absolutely absurd to me, and I feel dumbfounded. No offense. I didn't think this show was bad. There was a few things. I thought the whole Bloodline stuff was pretty decent. I thought The Miz with the Final Testament, I thought that was the star of the night to me. I really like that. Xavier Woods, I like that. I'm actually liking him turning into a heel. I hope he turns on Kofi Kingston. I hope they do the friendship of whatever they did with Chris Jericho and the Festival of Friendship and have him turn on Kofi. I really do. I do want to see Xavier Woods be an Intercontinental Champion or a U.S. Champion at some point in this year. I do. And next year. I want to see it happen. He deserves it. He's the only New Day member that hasn't gotten any love on the main roster. It's just absurd to me why he hasn't. Chad Gable pumping up his team after the fact. It's like, again, who gives a shit? Do you give a shit about American Made? They've made it look into a carny act. It's a carny act. Ivy Nile was doing things amazingly with Maxine Dupree to turn into garbage. Alpha Academy, what are we doing with that? Now they got a tag team match with the New Day. And it's like, I don't care. The New Day are obviously going to lose, and Xavier Woods is going to turn on Kofi Kingston, and here we are, and this should have been done weeks ago. Like, it's like Tiffany Stratton cashing in. I turn around and I'm left dumbfounded. It's like, it's Tiffy time. Why didn't you cash in? We don't. Why do you cash in? We don't. Nia Jax going and saying nobody matters to her makes her look weak. Gunther, he looks weak. Like, I'm waiting for Ludwig Kaiser to turn on him. I'm waiting for it. It needs to happen. Like, I really hope Priest wins the belt off of him at this point, because you know why? I'll just be honest with you guys. Gunther doesn't look like that strong champion. They've booked him horribly. He does not look like that Intercontinental brute that I remember him to be. I think he should lose the belt at this point. He does not look strong. He does not look good. I'd rather see Damian Priest and a CM Punk. I would rather see a Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre again. Damian Priest and John Cena. I'd rather see anything else right now than Gunther. I think Gunther has lost a tier right now. And I'm all about Gunther, but he looks extremely weak. If that's how they're booking him, that's how they're doing the things. When he came back and Damian Priest is low blowing him and he's falling to the ground, trying to get him with a pipe, it just doesn't look good. It makes him look weak. I'm just saying he just looks weak. Rey Mysterio's dad died, so they were kind of paying homage to him throughout the tag team match. Again, Nia Jax, again, I don't care about the opening segment. Liv Morgan comes out, and I cringe. Again, like I said, I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that, but Rhea Ripley coming out going, War Games, and hitting her, headbutting her. It's just, they're trying to, Rhea Ripley supposedly was supposed to be out 3 months with an orbital socket issue. And now they're speeding up Becky Lynch to come back, which was predictable. Again, Raquel Rodriguez doesn't look good to me. Raquel Rodriguez, you made her into a sexy biker chick. Why are you not having her go and fight for that U.S. belt? That mid-card U.S. belt. Have her win something. Better yet, why didn't you have her and Liv Morgan win those tag team belts? Because I would rather see, no offense, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill tear it up, blow the building off, because they needed, one of them needs to turn on somebody. It's just awful. The tag team belts, the women's stuff is just terrible. That's why I'm happy to see mid-card titles being introduced on Raw and on SmackDown. Eventually Raw will get the Intercontinental belt, so I'm cool with that. And they do this whole thing to set up for War Games 5-on-5, and I'm like, who cares? Rhea Ripley, they brought her too soon. If she gets hurt again, that's on WWE. Honestly, that's on WWE. They better protect her. I'm hoping that they don't medically clear her for it and she can't fight in it and somebody has to take her place. But there's that. Karrion Kross, again, I liked it. The Miz and Karrion Kross working great together is great. With Scarlett Bordeaux, it works great. With Paul Ellering being out, I guess Paul Ellering had surgery in real life. So Kaiser doesn't look good. I'm just saying Gunther doesn't. Kaiser looks great. I should take that back. Kaiser looks great. Gunther don't look good. Braun Baker defeating Sheamus via disqualification was predictable. They're going to have 3 different matches, just like how Carmelo Hayes and LA Knight had, or Andrade had 3 different matches. They're just doing the same thing that they do on SmackDown on Raw. The War Raiders defeating Carlito and Dominic Mysterio. It is what it is. It is what it is. Bo Dallas having a message. This was also on a VHS tape, was pretty good. Anything that Bo Dallas does. I feel Bo Dallas is better than his brother. Right now, how he's cutting promos and stuff, I just feel the Wyatt Sick thing is better than what his brother was doing. The New Day segment, this was stupid. They're setting up for the Alpha Academy and the New Day. It's obviously the Alpha Academy will do something to win, and that's when you'll see Woods turn on Kofi. Bronson Reed defeats Seth Rollins in some interference with the Bloodline 2.0, and that's how we end the show. Again, you know, I just don't understand. You know, again, they gave Bronson Reed the victory. I get it. They need to put Bronson Reed over. Not this way. It doesn't make him look strong. It makes him look weak. And at the end of the day, to me, Seth Rollins, I agree with Stevie Richards here. Stevie Richards has called out Seth Rollins, and I do watch the Stevie Richards show. You guys should watch it. WSI Wrestling Shoot Interviews, and Stevie Richards, man. To be honest with you, Stevie Richards is right. These egg beaters that he doesn't look believable. I'm starting to watch. Seth Rollins is not looking believable. It's all just fake. It's not believable when he throws punches. It just seems like he's just there for the money. He's not there to really, Seth Rollins used to sell very well. I just think he's going along with the motions. Seth Rollins will be part of the Bloodline 2.0. You'll see it on Friday. It's predictable. This Raw was predictable. You knew what was happening. You can call it out. Now with them going to sometimes pre-tape, sometimes live, it's, again, kayfabe is not going to be kayfabe anymore. Take a look at Randy Orton and Kevin Owens recently with all that going on. So, real quickly, WWE going TV 14. I want to keep this very, very quick with you guys on the internet, on YouTube. Look, nothing's going to change. They got a lot of sponsors. I don't think they're going to do blood every week. I think you'll see blood here and there. I think you'll hear more foul language than usual, and a little bit more sexual stuff, but I don't think you're going to see it like you think. And that's me being honest with you guys. Not trying to be mean or anything like that, and just being perfectly honest. I agree with Ango because I did watch his video on it, and I just don't see WWE doing that. I think they'll be a little bit more edgier, but I don't think they're going to be as more as they are now. I think they're going to keep to their bread and butter. Maybe they'll change and tweak some things when, like John Cena, or they have special acts. I think Raw will be their A show going forward. Again, I just don't understand. Why don't, Triple H is a metalhead. I don't understand why we're doing rap music for everything. Like metal music. If you're going to go more edgier, I saw the old Raw theme with the current stuff that's going on, and I like that. I think they should do more of that, personally. But that's just me. That's my personal opinion. I'm just speaking my mind on things and all that. But at the end of the day, this Raw was predictable. It was a C show. It was average. It was mid. I would say it's 6.75. I would say 2 out of 5, 2.5 out of 5. I mean, again, I've been saying this, and I said this to my co-host that you see every once in a while here on this channel. I said straight to him when we were watching the Tyson fight and Jake Paul, which I thought that shit was the most garbage thing I've ever seen. That was a throwaway fight. I'd rather go watch two old men fight and beat the shit out of each other. And Netflix, shame on Netflix. They should have had the server overload for that shit. When you got Peacock and you got other places doing 3 million people watching sporting events, and they can keep a clear stream, I think Netflix needs to get with it. I think if they want bigger, they want to be treated as a sporting event. And I heard during the hot dog eating contest with Joey Chestnut, they had problems. And when they do certain concerts and live events live, they have issues. So they need to get it together. Personally, Netflix needs to. So, well, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I got lots of videos. I'm glad to be back. A live stream's coming up for you guys coming soon. We're going to be playing the new Fortnite Battle Pass. I got that. Got the Crew Pass. More Call of Duty. We got the Xbox back, so I'm excited. More Xbox Game Pass stuff. I'm excited. You guys should be excited. We are back better than ever, baby, doing the things. And I will see you guys on the next video or next live stream. All right, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.